Ongoing growth in Wilderness is necessary, both to be able to provide continued opportunities for their people and to ensure that they achieve their ultimate vision of leaving a legacy of conservation for their children. In order to drive this growth, Wilderness Safaris is extremely proud to have taken the decision to seek a listing on the Botswana Stock Exchange, with an inward listing on the African board of the Johannesburg Exchange.
We've obviously debated this whole issue of whether to list, why to list, for a long time. And we have had some reservations, to be quite frank with you, about it, as you would expect. But there are a couple of underlying reasons. The first one is that we also recognize that a business like ours is engaged with land use issues all over Southern Africa. And we feel that to try to maintain our land use that we have without having a public ownership offering, in particular in some of the countries that we are engaged in, it's unwise. And so that's the first key reason. We want to be able to offer an opportunity to the people in the countries that we are engaged in to buy into our equity. The second reason is that we're quite proud of what Wilderness has done. And we think that if you can show off a successful ecotourism model, including, let's say, the rigorous issues of being listed and making profits, and show that that can succeed, then the opportunity to grow the industry and to grow land broadly under tourism and ecotourism will increase. And we feel that's important. And then finally, of course, we do have, after 25 years, you can imagine a lot of shareholders who have got some, let's say, shareholder fatigue. And it's only fair, because if you look back in the history, we've pretty much plowed all the profits from this business back into it. And it's really time that we also face the discipline of the markets of paying dividends, making returns. Not that we haven't done the making returns, but we haven't done the dividend element, and the market will force us to do that. So that's another important reason why we think at this time it's good to list.
We were planning, funny enough, to list this business last year, and we obviously put it on hold at the time. And we went back and we rethought the process of listing, and we said we'd only reconsider the listing in November of the current year if we had performed well in the current climate. And I think we're quite proud to say that we have performed well. There's no doubt that the impact on our turnover line is significant, and in my view will be in the region of 15-20% down. But the impact on our EBITDA, or sustainable cash earnings line, is basically we're almost tracking ahead of last year at the moment. Our primary listing is going to be in Botswana, and we're looking at an inward listing in South Africa on the African board. Why are we doing it? Well, the reality is that there's a legislative framework which requires us to do that. I mean, it's been a huge discussion whether we list in each individual company, whether we list subsidiaries, whether we list the holding company. It's been an endless debate. But I think we've got a comfortable solution in the primary in Botswana and in inward in South Africa. I mean, the reality is that the inward listing in South Africa is going to help us on the liquidity challenges we've got on the Botswana market. Listing in Botswana, which is the heart of the business, is going to provide us, a good feeling that we're in the country where a majority of the business value lies.
Wilderness is a Botswana-orientated business. The core of Wilderness, its philosophy, how it was started, the thinking behind it was formed in Botswana. Our largest economic interest is in Botswana. And, the Botswana environment has been excellent for us. Botswana as a conservation destination, in my view, is one of the best in Africa, if not in the world. And I believe that it's only right that we should have our primary listing giving recognition to those factors. And in fact, in a way, Johannesburg's role in this regard is more around the value of the JSE as the major stock exchange of Southern Africa, and less around the other aspects of it.
So I'm excited about how we've adjusted. I'm also excited now that we're in a position to put it onto the market, because I think for strategic reasons it's very, very important.
Wilderness sees their investment in human and environmental conservation initiatives as an essential spend in creating long-term value for the business. After the break, we look at the company's growth plans, illustrating its commitment to projects like Children in the Wilderness and various other biodiversity investments.